This video was recorded in front of a live virtual audience.
Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. Today we're going to be reviewing Dame Vivienne Westwood. I know she doesn't like to be called Dame, but we're going to be reviewing Vivienne Westwood's Fall-Winter 2021 collection. That is not the gold label, which is now Andreas Krontala. It is not Anglomania. It's a mix of a little bit of unisex, of Vivienne Westwood, and World's End. I am wearing Vivienne Westwood for the occasion. This is the Fall-Winter 20 dragon shirt. I'm wearing a harness from last season, a vegan Vivienne Westwood harness. The giant orb. This is a really heavy one, and it's framed within the harness. Look, perfectly just fits there. And we have the sex beret. We're ready for you, Viv. We're ready for you. Let me get to, thank you. Well, actually, hold on. I'm so excited about the show that I totally forgot. First of all, if y'all's like my content, consider subscribing to my channel. Push the subscription button and subscribe today. Also, thumb up this video. It means a lot for the algorithm to thumb up this video. Thank you so much. And you can push the join button next to the subscription button, become a member today, and gain extra perks in the Fashion Bunker. You can also join me on Patreon, Super Dacob all spelled together on Patreon as well. You get extra perks there too. So I would like to thank my patrons and members who have already pledged. The Fashion Bunker is thriving thanks to you guys, and also thanks to my co-chatters, because this video is being filmed live in front of a virtual studio audience, and you guys are all in my chats here on the side. Thank you so much. We will be reviewing together the Vivienne Westwood Fall-Winter 2021 collection. Now, important to note, or to state that Vivienne did not want to, it's not just because of the lockdown situation. She's been doing this also in the past. She doesn't always do a runway with video, models walking, guests invited. No, she tones it down. This season also very toned down. Just a photo shoot, very simple, no flashy craziness out there except for the character of the models and the looks. So very stripped down, very toned down, very minimal in its approach, just a scorched wall background and models in front of it. That's it. Sometimes they'll be standing on boxes with some, leftover fabrics that they had that they just drape the boxes with. That's it. I love the simplicity. We know this from Vivienne Westwood from the past. This is nothing new. But let's get to it. I'm going to move to the side. And first image. All right, you guys. Here we goes. Here we goes. We got true punk print. We got this corduroy velvety pants going on. Oh, is that a beret I see? Well, what beret do you have on? Do we have the same one? Wait. We might just have the same one. We're going to see. And then we have this oversized sweater. So there's a lot of unisex going on here. By unisex, I mean Vivienne also has a label called Vivienne Westwood Unisex. And she has a label called Vivienne Westwood. So here I think we have a couple of unisex pieces as well as Vivienne Westwood pieces. And the beret is World's End. Knitwear. Vivienne loves knitwear. She does most of the knitwear designs herself. Actually, all of them. Then we got those gorgeous socks or stockings that we're used to from Vivienne Westwood, as well as squiggle on the shoes, I think, because I can't really see it that into detail from this distance, but I think he has squiggles on his shoes. And she has a classic 90s Westwood shoe on as well. What is slightly different, and I think more of a Andreas Krontala influence in this case, is the pattern on the sweater the lady is wearing. That ornamental aspect to it, that's something, it's more of a Krontala influence than Westwood herself. True punk, it's a kind of interesting that she writes that and states that because, she often in interviews says punk is dead. So in a way it's like, what's punk? It ain't really punk to buy Vivienne Westwood. It's not punk to buy anything. Punk is to not consume. So that in a way is kind of that, duality that we have often with Westwood. Is this kind of like she keeps saying against her own brand. She says, buy less, choose will make it last. Like, don't buy anything, actually. Do it yourself. But then she says, but if you want to buy something, buy my stuff. So kind of that's the true punk representation there, I guess. I'm loving the color combination, loving the pinks mixed with the greens and the blues and that background. But we're just so used to these scorched backgrounds from Vivienne, you know. It's like sometimes like, oh, just, you know, put the models in a garbage can, and it's like, that's punk. I'm like, yeah, I'm a bit tired of that, to be honest. Like, I said this to one of their people. I said, hey guys, why don't you like dress up a model in a 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 pound couture dress, and instead of dumping them into the trash like you always do to be like controversial, let them sit in the parliament instead, in the House of Commons. Like, that to me is more punk than this constant like, oh, I just spent all this money on this, but like, it's trash. I'm tired of that. But anyway, in this case, it's not that. We're not in a garbage situation. We're in a building that's being remodeled or whatever, so it's fine. I'm just saying, just analyzing. Okay, the colors are amazing though. I love that pink and the green. Next one. Okay, so I think this coat really is B-colored or bi-colored, because you see the collar changes color at one point. So we have that, it looks like a pied de poule, the scarf, and then we got the dress underneath. And then we have a little micro bag, shoes, socks. I'm liking it. Not for me. I wouldn't be wearing it. I'm not that type of skinny, tall, slender, like really elongated person on which a coat like that would look good. More short things look better on me. They elongate me. This would make me look really Oompa Loompa-ish. But on him, it looks gorgeous. And I like that touch of how they styled him so that there's a texture to it. There's British in it, you know, Westwood, but then there's Asian, perhaps a little bit of African influences as well in the dress and how it's kind of draped and falling. It's a very, very clever combination. It makes you think. We've seen double colored coats in the pit. It's nothing new, but it's a very, very pleasantly executed color combo. So I'm liking this look as well. Next one, let me see. Oh, classic. Okay, here we have Vivienne Westwood's pirate hat, also from World's End label. They're promoting the bags, which are probably going to be made in... this one is in a canvas, a plastified canvas, just like Louis Vuitton does as well. Classic Westwood silhouette. We're going back to the 90s, I'm feeling. You know, just this orb is also from the 90s. But this is giving me more that, like, punkature, you know, her collection punkature kind of vibe and mood. And I'm loving, loving, loving those slight reflective and metallic hues to both the shirt, which I think is a shirt, and then the dress as well. All of these are, by the way, unisex, you guys. It depends how your body shape is, but you could wear it. And then those shoes in the silver. Yes, queen. Oh, by the way, for the occasion, you know, I was like, let's bring in something while we're reviewing this and just have a little bit more eye candy. Now, this is the classic archive orb bag from the 90s, remodeled by Vivienne just a year ago. It's still in production, actually. And I added this Vivienne Westwood punk strap to it, so you could wear it, you know, over the shoulder as well. But this is metal, leather, sorry. This is actually leather. The gold bits are leather, patent leather. And then it has this huge chunky metal orb, which if you look to the side, check out how it protrudes outwards. And you can shorten these straps. You could actually take this chain off and put these handles right down here instead, because all of these rings, if you can see, they all just open like that, and then you could pull the chain off. You could do out of this, you can make out of this bag whatever you want. It's amazing. So it's kind of the Yasmin bag. It's the Yasmin bag, but in the classic orb shape with then this kind of punk detail. So I just let these kind of fall down like that, and you just wear it, even crossbody. So this is giving me this kind of metallic, gorgeous, almost iridescent metallic vibes. Could go very well with that dress. And in particular, goes really, really very well with that burgundy pirate hat color tone. So they should have styled her with this, but I do like the little clutch she's wearing as well. That's kind of cool too. Okay, sorry, moving on to the next one. And I do love, by the way, to mix silver with gold. A lot of people don't like that. So her shoes are silver. I would keep them in silver, and I would still style it with the Archive Orb Golden Yasmin bag. Next one. So here we have the same material color we used for the coat before. We've seen True Punk at this time paint printed on a long sleeve shirt, which I can't really tell from this angle now and also from this distance if he is wearing a squiggle shirt or not. Not in the squiggle pattern, but in the pirate squiggle cut from the 80s. That little blue bag touch is amazing. He's wearing a beret from World's End. Just saying. Short sleeve shirt, which could be a jacket, could be a denim. Again, it's really far for me to see from here. Could be a denim jacket. If it has short sleeves, I'm really liking it. It's kind of like a shirt jacket. It's thick or thin consistency. And again, you see just a simple background with a draped thing, just like that. Beautiful. I love it. Next. Oh, yes. Look at that cleavage, you guys. Now, this is quintessential Vivienne Westwood, 90s Vivienne Westwood. Even the way that they styled the hair with the locks and the curls, gorgeous. Now, this is genius to me. Okay, so what they did here, they have knitwear. So typical, Vivienne loves this, grinning. When you kind of spread out the knit, you get to see a different color shimmer through from underneath, which is kind of knitted on the back. So there's that kind of, you see that effect as the model is stretching the garment. It looks like a lighter or a darker hue of scarlet, burgundy, black hues. It's to die for, with that gorgeous area here open, and then that corseted inner part. I mean, come on. If you have the body for this, and quite frankly, if they make these in bigger sizes, even if you're more curvaceous and bigger, oof, you could look hot in this. Loving it. Nothing new. It's very Westwood 90s. Mind you, this is not some huge innovation. Not at all. But it's a beautiful return to the 90s. I'm craving 80s and 90s lately. So to me, this is just up my alley, you know. Let's see the next one. Vivienne is known for snatching the masters, you know, paintings and painters from the past, and just printing them all over clothes and bags, what have you. I have a couple of her pieces as well, with the Rapture of Europe in particular. I have a little tiny camera bag. But anyway, in this case, we have a full dress with a print, full-on overprint of a painting. I cannot see which one it is. Could also be Europe. Could also be the Rape of Europe, I think, but I'm not so sure. And we have this velvety, so 90s. Oh my God, you remember the velvets in the 90s? That was something. Those were images to behold. The lady's wearing a World's End beret. Loving those stockings that go all over the knee, which, by the way, really resemble very much more like Andreas Krontala, actually, than Vivienne. But in the silhouette here, in the proportions, it works very well, that it's cut at the knee, and then we have a bit of skin, and then again that mini skirt, mini dress. I mean, come on, it's quintessential 90s. You know they're bringing back Sex and the City. I know the ladies are now in the Golden Girls age span, so, you know, what are they going to do around New York by now? They're probably going to be in, you know, in a home together. But if not, if they're still, you know, if they can, this is how I would style Sex and the City, okay? This would be my Carrie Bradshaw in the first episode. Just saying. Let's go on to the next one for the new season. Okay. Okay, I mean, they chose him, obviously, for the lips and the nose. He looks like he came out of Star Trek, from some other species. But fascinating face, nevertheless, you know, they like to hire models like that a lot these days. The eyes are very like a fox. So anyway, moving down to the outfit. This looks so cozy and comfy, but in 90s style, and I'm loving the checkered pants that are kind of reflecting light so majestically. So there's like a play of reflective material, not reflective material, but you know, you have this satin type of quality to the pants, and then a very mattified jacket that looks like a thick type of cotton that absorbs the light rather than reflect it. And then in between the two, they textured it with this kind of almost natural print, you know, of like nature. But you can't really see very well from the distance, but beautiful harmony of colors. That orb on the hat is a bit too much for me. I would take that off. I don't need that branding on that hat. Actually, just take the hat off completely. I don't need that hat. And that color, the hat is a faux pas. The hat should have been different color, darker hue without the orb. But other than that, this looks so cozy and chic just to the right degree. Next one, let me see. Ah, now look at that corset. Oh my God, I'm living for this. Living for it. Dying for it. This one is just, I mean, of course you gotta have a body to pull the pants off, to, you know. Look at her little orb. It's like hanging right there in that décolleté area. And then we have the World's End pirate hat. That corseted knit sweater turtleneck is genius, in my opinion. It's just, it's a combination of 3 different epochs, 3 different decades, all united into one. It's so simple, but it's so effective. It totally works for me. Totally works. Loving this. Like only 3 people will be able to wear it, but I'm loving it as an idea. You know what I mean? Okay, next. Oh yes, loving this serious kind of business look, but at the same time, like, I don't give a toot, you know. It's so good. The bags, okay, this is a classic bag. So the lady is wearing, I forgot the name of this one, but it's kind of like a bondage bag with, you know, a little bit like this, you know, harness. It has those little metal bits. They usually make them in black. This is a seasonal color now, and this green, bluish hue. I love how chill he looks, and she's like business attire. This is, again, so far from me. I think this is the alcoholic jacket and the alcoholic skirt, which are staples of Vivienne Westwood, and they come every season in different materials, different patterns, but the cut is always slightly asymmetric. They're called drunk jacket and drunk, or alcoholic jacket and alcoholics. Well, actually, they used to be called, but then, you know, the politically correct police came along, and now they're called drunken, I guess. But the idea is that the tailor was drunk while making the jacket, the suit, the pants, the skirt, and so hence that's why everything became asymmetric. But in reality, it's really thought through, because that dynamic asymmetric cut and texture of the garments really make them flow when you move. They become dynamic. That's how magical Vivienne is when she works with tailoring. And this is something that she conceived already back in the 90s, so it's not like a new pattern, you know. They are recycling it, but then again, they also tell her, Vivienne, let's do something new. And then she says, why? If something is done well, if I like it already, if it works, then why change it? Keep it the way it is. Just, you know, add a little bit of color here and there, but keep, you know. And I agree with her. What is good, let it stay the way it is. Okay, next one. Well, this is, I mean, I'm struggling with this one a little bit. Again, we have that, Andreas loves to do those references to, I guess, Tirol, you know, and all that stuff, or, you know, Oktoberfest, what have you. It's kind of not my thing. And then this kind of whole like baggy look, like it looks super comfy, but it's very much chill in LA, and gonna smoke a doobie and just like, you know, we don't care. And it's like, I don't know. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat,
£4.99 super chat from Aisha Ahmed. Guys, I have to go out, but we'll be dipping in and out of the chat. Love you all.
Oh, thank you so much, Aisha. See you in a minute. And it's this kind of like LA type of attitude, like, okay, you know, living the bathrobe life. And that's where I say no to the high price tag. Because bathrobe life doesn't have to mean Gianni Versace bathrobe while I go shopping to show off that I have a Gianni Versace bathrobe. So this, to me, I have my issues. This I have the feeling her design team did this. She didn't have much of a say in this look. So this is a no for me. Next one, let me see. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. She is living. This is Westwood for me. 90s Westwood, mind you. You know, Vivienne went through a lot of different phases, but this is the 90s Westwood we love. Or I love. This is just, what can I tell you? And look, she even has red hair. She's a little bit like a young Vivienne Westwood. They made her really, it's like a pre-Raphaelite lady mixed with Westwood kind of cocotte attitude, just with stockings. I mean, this is so quintessentially Westwood, going back to the 90s roots. This is a yes for me, head to toe. Next one. Okay, so this is listen, this is one of those pieces they put in there. This is an easy seller. This dress is going to look good on guys, on girls. It's an easy sell. The color is easy. You don't have to, you know, a lot of people are shy with colors. They, you know, they're going to end up buying black. No matter how many options you give them of the same dress in different colorways, they're going to end up buying black. So this is one of those that where, like, okay, you dare with the shoe, put on the silver shoe. You'd maybe dare with the bag. In this case, they dared with the hair. The hair is gorgeous. It's simple. It's one of those that guarantees a sale. So I understand why they put. You can't only put, when you're presenting a collection, you can't only put editorial looks together for the sake of editorial looks. You need also a couple of pieces that, like, you can reassure your clientele. Hey, by the way, we also, you know, we also offer you stuff that is not just editorial. There's also much more comfortable stuff as well. So that's where this one falls into. So it's nothing special. It's safe, but it's clean in a good way. Next one. This is very, very beautiful, especially the play with proportions. That, you know, that kind of jacket seems to be very light in texture. It flows and it's more bubbly as you walk. It probably opens. But then the really tight, straight cut. I don't know if these are the James Bond pants, because she does have a pair of pants called James Bond. They're quite tight fit. Sure, you could style it like he did to make it more editorial, and you put stockings on a dude, like fishnet stockings on a dude, whatever. It doesn't shock us anymore. But this kind of seems natural to me. Styled the way it is on him, it looks like, for sure, of course a guy's going to wear fishnet stockings. Normal. Choker with pearls, and he has his orb necklace. And of course the World's End pirate hat, this time in gray. I love it for him. No, I could pull this off too. I could pull this off too. Not so sure if the fishnet stockings would be so comfortable for me, because I would have to shave, because I don't like the hairs poking out otherwise. But otherwise, looks amazing. Next look. Again, one of those safe looks. It is a bit oversized. The pants are gorgeous. I love oversized pants like that. I think they look amazing, and I think they're super comfortable. This is also very 90s, also late 80s. This reminds me also a lot of Giorgio Armani. He's a master at tailoring these comfortable, effortlessly flowing suits. That's where this goes. Of course, they added that bag to add a little bit of a twist to the whole look. But this, to me, screams Armani 80s, 90s. And they did do, let me just check what's up. Yeah, okay, they did do a double tone. That makes it very different. But also something we've seen before, but I mean different from a classic Armani look. But I love that she's doing a bit of oversized, because usually the issues I have with Vivienne's pieces is a lot of them are really, they cut you so tight under the armpit, you always sweat immediately. There's like, she never gives you space under there. This suit seems to be a bit more spacious down there, so that's good. And I'm sure it will be available in different colors. But I am liking this choice of color for this background on him with that bag, styled effortlessly, which works. Next look. Oh, of course, again. I mean, you know what I mean. This is where it's at, you guys. This is just like, yes, we don't care. We're just here. We're just fabulous and flawless, baby. I mean, I've said it all about these prints already before. I love the shoes, love the patterns. Classic. Look at the juxtaposition. The tight lady, you know, with the tight dress, and then the other one with the overflowing all over print. Like a padded jacket for winter. And then those white stockings, which of course, if you're not skinny, white makes you look even bigger. But I love the round, the bigness of it all. I am more for the fleshy silhouette anyway these days. So I'm looking forward to the fuller ladies, you know, rocking this. It's going to look amazing. Next look. Okay, this is something that I am going to hunt down for myself. I'm telling you already now, I need this denim jacket with the print. It's unisex, by the way. Loving it. Loving it. The crop top, I mean, yeah, it's a bit too Yeezy reminiscent, you know, in the styling, so whatever. Asymmetric denim skirt, yes. The orb, yes. Whatever they did with her hair, you probably won't be able to purchase that. They just styled it for her. But yes. Simple, easy, but I want that denim jacket. You know, I love my denim jackets. I collect them. So for me, a Vivienne Westwood with an all-over print from Old Master. I'm a sucker for that. So I'm going to hunt it down. Thank you very much, Viv. Next. Classic, I would say, for him. Again, World's End pirate hat. And then here they're trying to sell us the accessory. The bag with the squiggle. I'm not a fan of the bucket bag, and I'm not a fan of attaching amazing silk foulards to the handles of bags. I find that really tacky in general. Or like twillies attached to handles so you don't make the handle dirty. Whatever. I'm not a fan of that. But anyway, so in terms of the looks, I'm not a big fan of these very light gray hues for me, but they look amazing on him. For the lady, simple attire, more summery than wintry, but you know, again, I like the print. We've seen it before, so nothing new, but it's okay. Standard Viv. It's good, except for the bag and the scarf attached to it. Next look. Oh, to die for. The denim jeans that match that denim jacket, and then we have the corset. Come on! Oh, man. Oh, and the shoe. Yes. I know it's nothing new. I know this is 90s Viv, but I'm so happy they're bringing 90s Viv back. There's not even a twist here, you guys. I can't even tell you, oh, but this is like so 2021. Like, it's so 90s with a 2021 twist. No, it's not. This is literally taken out of the 90s and just done again. Why not? We're missing it. And I'm sick and tired of having to pay exorbitant prices on the secondhand market for vintage 90s pieces from Vivienne Westwood. Now you don't have to anymore. You can buy it for a fraction of the cost, brand new. You're welcome. Next. Classic. This is more classic look if you're, you know, more ready for, I don't know, if you're working in an art gallery or something. If you want the Westwood kind of chic, but you don't dare go for the crazy stuff like this, then you go for that, which again, it's one of those safe sellers, and that's why they do it. So nothing to complain against it. Every collection has a couple of those pieces. Classic, elegant, Westwood, British chic. Next. This one would be the same as the prior look, except it has this extra attachment in the waist area, which it's kind of buttoned up. It's kind of complicated. You don't know if it's part of the pants or if the shirt is, or if it's an overall and everything's connected together and you just got to play with those buttons. Vivienne a lot of times does pieces, or her design team do pieces where kind of conceptually it works, but then like they're not very practical to put on. You have to really learn the dynamic of the garment. In some cases it takes some time to really get into it, and once you get into it, it seems logical, but just like seeing it, it looks very complicated for me. And the whole stomach area is an issue. So interesting on photo, but it seems like too much effort went into it. It doesn't flow for me. It's a complication rather than a thing that I desire. Let's just put it that way. But I love the color. Next. Yes, Queen. Now, I'm loving this short, you know, little mini skirt thing, and then like a bomber, like a puffy bomber on top with paintings printed all over it. I mean, come on, it's Vivienne. And then of course we have the plaid, the tartan pattern on the heels. I mean, and the World's End beret. I'm loving it, loving it. What can I say? It's the 2021, you know, ho chic in the best of ways. It's like, this is how it should be done. This is eleganza, darling. Okay, next. This is one of those, oh, I'm loving the pastels, by the way. The colors, the kind of ombre effect, to die for. Now this seems like a cut from the Witches collection because it has that game going on there. I'm not quite sure. I think it's an updated version of it. It's something perhaps more modern, but it does have that late 80s, 90s Westwood touch. And the long skirt, you know, in the 80s she did a lot of long things as well. Kind of in the 90s, skirts got really mini and short. This is more an 80s appeal to it. And I'm loving the pastel. These colors are to die for. Not many people could pull this off. But if whoever can, and I think this is a guy wearing it. Well, it doesn't even matter. But of course, anything with Vivienne is unisex. So if you have the body shape for this, you can pull it off. And I say go for it. Next. Okay, now this is that jacket again that the lady wore before, and now the guy's wearing it. That's the jacket I'm hunting down. I don't care for the pants though. I just want the jacket. And yeah. But this is like, again, this, you know, they, you know, I'm not a fan of the boot, the pant and the boot, that whole thing that's been going on for already 5 years, and it's kind of like this modern day cowboy look. It doesn't do it for me. There's too much, it exudes too much sexuality in the wrong way for me. Anyway, jacket, yes. The rest, including model, no. Next. Okay, to die for. Again, those pastels, that ombre effect, the slits at the bottom of the pants, shoulders for, you know, for days, and then this bustier, this corset. Oh, come on, you guys. How can you not love this? Doesn't this make you feel so happy? Like we're back at the ab fab time, you know. And Dina Monsoon, darling, sweetie, darling. This is when fashion was still fun. This is in the, I know it's not new. I know it's not a further development of what we already saw in the 90s. But at this point, you guys, fashion is dead. Might as well say it as it is. So I'm so happy that they're bringing back what we love. You know, this is the Westwood we love, and it's back. And we don't have to pay exorbitant prices on the secondhand market for the vintages because we got the new. Probably the quality isn't as good as it, you know, used to be. I mean, who knows? Production, you never know. But, and the hair, come on. This is, it's giving me powerhouse fashion, and that's all I ever want. Next. Oh, this is like struggling artist in his thoughts. Collecting the thoughts. This is like feminine, masculine, all in all. This is so gorgeous. But it's gorgeous because of the pose, because of his look, like how he's looking into the camera. It just works. I'm sure this dress is not going to sell well because it's too shiny. It also is like, it looks synthetic-y. I mean, I don't know if it's silk. Not so sure. He doesn't shine like silk on this photo at least. But on him, it looks gorgeous. It just does. And the bag around the neck and like the socks and the whole, oh, come on, you guys. It's beautiful, but editorial. Like this, it works just as is like that. The shoes, yes, are going to sell. The socks are going to sell. The bag is going to sell. That dress is probably not going to sell that well. Moving on. Again, a classic Vivienne piece. This is so typical 90s. And you guys, I live for the oversized collars. Live for the oversized collar. Like this is giving me life right now. And the buttons, classic Westwood, that kind of brown tone. Do I have them on here too? Yeah, the buttons I have on too. This kind of bony brown, buttery, like honey brown color button. It's typical to Vivienne. Do I have here another jacket from the archives? Wait, because yeah, here we got a Pourpoint bomber, classic Westwood. I think we're going to see a Pourpoint bomber in the collection now as well. But this is also, these are classic kind of wooden shaped buttons from Vivienne. Pourpoint bomber, you guys. This is a look at this. Look how she tailors and cuts the sleeves, and then like how you attach with a button the sleeve up so it stays up. Anyway, we're not going to review this jacket now, but okay, let's move on to the next image. Loving this, but we've seen it already styled in a different way. The micro bag, I think it's a bit time to move on away from micro bags, although that blood red lacquered leather, I'm living. living. And I love that they put a little black dot right there. She is 90s for the gods. Next one. Oh, okay, another one of those complicated pieces at the belly, around the belly. You see how complicated it is? I mean, it looks too complicated for me, but also very 90s in a way. I'm loving this kind of Jean-Paul Gaultier type of almost net top with the print. You know, that's also very Gaultier. Gaultier would have done it a little bit more translucent, transparent. You could sheer, it would have been more sheer. And the gloves just add a pop of color. I think we have Harris Tweed for the beret. It's an editorial look, but again, these pants, they're gonna be difficult to sell, I think. Anyway, next one. Now, so I like this. I'm not a fan of the jacket on him though. That jacket kind of cheapens the whole thing, and I don't think the puffer jacket, I don't think they styled it properly here. She looks amazing. That whole kind of almost tie-dye type of look with those hues, like from orange to rose to salmon-y colors, with the lilac and orange stockings and then the silver shoe. Amazing. Him, they didn't really style so well, but she's amazing. Next. This is actually, I would dare say, okay, so first of all, the Destroy bag is amazing. I mean, this is Vivienne's own design, the Destroy Evil, and actually the Destroy dollar sign is her, that's her quintessential Vivienne things. She designed that. Now the stripes, the lines, that's very conceptual, even too conceptual for Vivienne even. So this does not look like a Vivienne Westwood piece. The bag makes it Vivienne, the shoes make it, the beret makes it Vivienne. And the socks as well, but I am loving the 70s colors, the stripes in the center, you know, that orange, red, and brown, lighter brown and darker brown hues. I'm living for the 70s hues lately, but this isn't doing it for me, I have to say. Next. Loving the cuts, not loving the stripes, and not loving the shoes. Next. Again, same issue here. Very patchworky. Okay, now they're adding the stripes from one look to the stripes of the other, combine it together, wearing a shirt underneath. It's very fashion boy from 4 years ago or 3 years ago, and it's kind of borderline too much Balenciaga. No, Vivienne, you don't need to do this. Do yourself. You don't need to go, you don't need to appeal to the hypebeasts. You don't need to, and you don't need them in your life. They're dreadful. They're just victims. Next. Oh, now this is interesting. We have almost looks like a Pierrot, and the jacket has a waist. Now that is very difficult to sell for guys especially, but it is beautiful to see though. You see what I mean? They positioned him in a pose so that he can move. That movement gives texture to the garment and brings it to life, and it works when it's moving. When it's not moving, it ain't working. But I love the patchworky feel. Of course, a lot of designers did this in the 80s and in the 90s, a lot of Japanese designers in particular. So we know, Yamamoto, we know. Thank you for your service. But still, it's also very Westwood to do patchwork and to do, you know, layering and texturing of patterns. So this is very much her. But I see only a specific type of person buying this. This is not going to be a bestseller. Okay, next. Yeah, okay. Now here, I'm not a fan of this. The print front and then no print here, then print on the back. Okay, so these are going to be part of the unisex collection as well, probably. Again, this is one of those puffer sleeves there that'll really cut you under the armpit and like you're sweating like crazy. So these are one of those pieces that are just, and they're very cropped short at the waistline. So as unisex as they might be, they're really difficult to pull off. next. Classic Viv. Look at those shoulders. Shoulders for days. Asymmetric skirt underneath. Yes, it's difficult to wear. Sure, it's difficult to wear. But, you know, when you wear this, you are empowered. Duh, duh, duh. Love it. Just love it. I'm a sucker for this stuff. Next. Oh, we got a lady. And she's a witch on top of it all. Oh, she is ready for a seance. She's ready to cast a spell, and she's ready to rip your heart out and eat it for dinner. And she's still gonna have, because she's very skinny, she's gonna have some of it left over for breakfast the next morning. Loving it. I'm really. It's so esoteric, and it's so dark, even though it's white. She's a white witch with a dark heart. Next. Denim. I love Westwood denim. Now I know Westwood denim is like, nobody really cares, but I really like their denim. So I like this, and I love the tie. It's like hanging loose, so 90s, so cute with the pirate hat. The bag, terrible, but the model looks good in this guy. This suits him. Now they dressed him right for this. This is super cute on him. And I love that they're super baggy denim pants, but they're like kind of cut a little bit short, so he wiggles out from the underneath there. Cute. But that bag, girl, gots to go. Okay, next. Oh, is this velvet again? Or is it satin? Looks amazing. Classic Viv 90s. Loving the dark. That color is to die for. That emerald blue green. I don't know what color it is. On my monitor, it appears to be a different texture or color than it actually is, I think. But it's like an emerald green. Could be blue. Can't really see very well from here, but it's to die for. In combination with the pants, really cool, but even without the pants, you know. And I'm loving the shoes. I always do love those shoes. Naomi fell in them. Poor thing. Okay, next. Okay, so this is again that baggy look, like, you know, again, bathrobe, living the bathrobe life in LA. I don't know. I like the colors though. Yeah, why not? Why not? Yes, I approve. Actually, no, I approve. I would just, yeah, minus the fanny bag and minus the beret. Just keep it in the warm hues, because they really messed it up with those two orange spots, like the beret and the, like, take those off and just keep it in those blues and those greens. Keep those cooler tones. It looks amazing. Next. 70s. Well, could be late 60s too, early 70s. 70s. This is more 70s than Vivienne to me, even though she was already active in the 70s, but it doesn't scream Westwood. For the velvet, for the type of shoes, yes, but it could have been Gucci as well, and that's what I don't like about it. Next. Loving the oversized coat, love the camel color combined with, again, we got that emerald green or dark blue hue for the velvet dress or skirt. Combination with a classic Vivienne Westwood heart bag, which we've learned to love already from the 90s. Pirate hat. In this case, I would have given her the Bordeaux pirate hat, not the gray one, and I'm loving the shoes in combo with the green stockings. But it's very, minus the shoes, it's something very Instagram influencer, which kind of annoys me too. Next. Classic Westwood, what can I say? For the lady with the corset. Loving the Westwood corsets, always have, always will. Loving his pants, which seem to be the alcoholic pants. The shirt gots to go. No, the shirt gots to go. Just wear the pants, dear. Take the shirt off. Next. Ah, let's promote those 5-degree bags. The bags are dreadful. Her look is cute though. I love the green, but it almost looks like an advertisement for United Colors of Benetton, which would not surprise us. You're going to say, Benetton? Ew, has nothing to do with Westwood. Well, hold your horses. You know that Jean-Jacques Castelbajac is the artistic director of Benetton, and Castelbajac is a huge friend of Vivienne Westwood. Castelbajac actually designed the squiggle, which he then gave to her and Malcolm McLaren to use, because he didn't want it. Malcolm loved it. He's like, you can have it. What are you gonna do about it? I'm gonna take it anyway. So they use the squiggle now. So it's very Castel Bajac, this kind of approach. I'm loving it, minus the bags. Bags got to go. Next. Again, patchwork, yes. In this case, this neon greenish lime shirt works better than when we've seen it before, when it had more appliques and more patchwork going on. So it works better now in this combination, but I still say no to the shirt. Yes to the pants though. Definitely yes to the pants. Next. Oh, another witch in the house. I'm loving the, oh, this gives me 20s vibes, you guys. With that waist a little bit elongated. Oh, shoes got to go. But loving the top, the is it a jacket or a sweater knit and the skirt. Loving it. And yes, you have to style your hair just like this to pull this off. Oh, I'm loving it. It's like from an Agatha Christie book, a lady that opens the cottage door and it turns out she's the murderer at the end of the book. Next. Okay, so he's wearing actually a version of the Pourpoint bomber, which I just showed you. So that's kind of the new version for next season. That's the design that they made for the Pourpoint. Oh, and oh, well, what do you know? Well, are we wearing the same beret? Well, well, methinks we is. Methinks we is. So shirt gots to go. I'm loving that Vivienne is making finally thicker fake pearls. See how thicker those pearls are for the choker? Yas, mama. We got a small Yasmin bag. Here we got the Yasmin with the orb. Classic from the 90s. Well, reintroduced the archive orb. So it's more or less the same size that he's holding there. Let's see if I hold it. Yeah, his is a little bit smaller. Mine is bigger, but no pun intended. But anyway, I'm loving the Yasmin bag, always have. He has a vegan version. That's a vegan version of the Yasmin bag right over there, if anybody's interested in vegan bags. Okay, next. Loving the print, loving... the jacket looks good, not in that combination on its own. If she had... Now, for that jacket, I would see a Dolce & Gabbana Guépierre black tight, you know, like from the early 90s, what they used to do in satin and silk, the ratchet type, and then that on top. Okay, but like this, no, that, and in fact, why did they tell the lady to hold her waist? They told her to hold the waist because that whole shirt is too big, so they had to give it some shape, otherwise it's too clumpy, added to the hugeness of the coat. So you know what I mean? So she would have needed to wear something really tight underneath that coat to pull it off. But since they styled it like this, they said, oh, at least put your arms there, put your hands there, and it's going to make it look a little bit more cinched in, even though it's not. So the combination doesn't work for me at all. They're faking it. They're making the illusion of it working by putting her hands there, but otherwise it doesn't work. But as single individual pieces, yes. Next. Classic Westwood again, you know, a little bit too Gucci. So yeah, it's a no for me. Next. Oh, I'm loving the coat, loving the patterns of the coat, the living vibrant colors, loving the corset with the zipper in the front, loving the pearl choker necklace, loving the shoes, the skirt, and not loving the pants. In this case, not loving the pants, but everything else, yes. And I'm in particular the coat. Next. Okay, oversized pants. In this case, it really works. That coat is really nice, though. It's very, very 90s, but this is one of those pieces, one of those looks that you don't really know when Vivienne made them. This could have been from 10, 20 years ago, could be from now. This is one of those, this is a classic Westwood tailored look. So there's not much I can say about it. You know, if you don't want to dare too much with crazy cuts or patterns, but you want a Westwood look and be like sophistication in terms of Westwood language, this is it. This is where it's at. Next. Not a fan of this color for the jacket and the pants, but the do-it-yourself bag is cute. We've seen it before, done in different ways, beaded also as a different type of clutch in the past. Always loving the pirate hat. We always love the World's End pirate hats, but yeah, this type of shade of blue, no, not liking it. The shirt is okay. Next. Again, gorgeous pattern, loving it. Is that a text on her stocking? Or is she just happy to see us? And I'm loving the shoe as well. Yeah, this works for me. Works. Next. I think it's the end though. Let me just see. Yeah. So this was the last look. And you see, Vivienne didn't deliver a spouse, a wedding. You know, Vivienne Westwood does do couture dresses, by the way. Vivienne does, you know, you could order a ready-made dress or what have you, blah, 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 just for you, bridal, blah, blah, blah. But it's not like in the Vivienne Westwood main line, they end the show with a bridal look. They're not that cliche. Like some brands are that have to always end the shows with a bridal look. Looking at just Chanel and Fendi, for example. So you guys, this has been a long review video. So I don't know how I'm going to go quickly through the chats. No, it's not Madonna. It does look like Madonna. Olfactive Story says. Looks like a young Madonna. Yeah, very much Madonna from her erotica era. Jack says the breast cutout dress looks good on men with giant pecs too. Let me scroll quicker. Too many colors, guys, says Miss Marie. Iconic, loving the 90s knits, says Aisha. Then we got the lining of the jacket, loving the lining, says Georgina. I want the corset, but I would look like a muffin in it, says Jack. I would too, although I love their corsets. Perfect balance of masculinity and femininity, says JRB. I totally agree. Olfactive Story says the top has 90s vibes to me. Loving the heel, says my CC88. Love, 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 says JRB. Bill Rogers says, why is the model standing on a box? It was just a stylistic choice, darling. It's like, here's a box, darling. Step on it. I had a professor who wore a full pink tartan alcoholics skirt suit to class once. Best professor ever, says Jack. Oh my God, that's amazing. Mr. Philip Fabulous, my music teacher in high school was a diehard Vivienne Westwood woman. And what a woman she was. I'm telling ya, who likes Vivienne has character. To say the least. Black dress is always easy to wear. Always easy to wear. That's always an easy sell for every brand. Miss Marie says, nice dress, nice fishnets. MK says, funny. I'm very familiar with Vivienne's menswear. It is very Japan inspired. A lot of the pants are Hakama styled. Yeah, a lot of them have that Japanese look vibe about them. Reminds me of Yamamoto for men, Miss Marie says. Very. There's a lot of those similarities. Olfactive Story says, beautiful models. Oh, that print, I'm in. It's more super elite. You can't get it even if you can afford to, says JRB. Art school, college vibe. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but it honestly reminds me of the yearly school photo book. Cha. I'm scrolling quicker, guys, because the video is already too long. I hope they make the Destroy mini bag in black. I'll definitely buy it, says Jack. Patchwork tartan speaks to Scottish families handing down clothing generation to generation, says Jack. The one with the waist, says I'm Louis. Mr. Philip Fabulous says, with those shoulders, you will fly to hell and back. Orange gloves are great, says Jack. Kira says, perfect. MK says, denim ensemble plus pirate hat remind me of Marité Girabeau. Very much so as well, but it is also very custom by Jacques. Jack says, I like the 5-degree print, but not so zoomed in on a bag. No, the 5-degree print is cool, but not on that whole bag constellation didn't work for me at all. MK says, I can't see myself wearing any of those styles anymore, but it is a fun proposition for younger crowds. Jason says, yes, Vivienne been about breaking gender norms. She deserves more credit. What a wonderful way to end it. I love the pink velour pants in the first look, says Jason. Oh, the pink velour. We all love a good pink velour. Thank you guys so much for watching, for tuning in, and for co-reviewing the show with me. This took forever, but you know, it's different. When you have runway shows that are filmed as a video, you just go quick and it's done. But when we have photos, I think it's more clever to actually just deliver photos, because then you got to actually look at them more. And you end up spending more time looking at them, because this review lasted longer than the reviews we've done of other shows, because the other shows were on video. So you see, Vivienne is clever. She got our attention for much longer than if she would have just delivered a 5-minute video to us instead. If you like this video, consider subscribing to my channel here on YouTube. You can also push the join button next to the subscription button and become a member of the Fashion Bunker today and gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon, Super Dacob all spelled together, to also gain access to special videos on Patreon that never come to YouTube. Scrolling to the side here are my patrons and members, as well as super chatters and sustainers, supporters of the Fashion Bunker. So become one today and also get your place in the Olympus special Hall of Fame at the end of the video, just like every producer in the movie is credited at the end of the video. Thank you guys so much. Look how many people are loving the Fashion Bunker. Every time it warms my heart, and it makes me be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And yeah, so join. And if you haven't, you can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Super Dacob all spelled together. You can also follow me on my Chanel adventures. One Instagram profile is called Coco Chanel is in my house, all spelled together, dedicated to my Chanel collection and whatever the Chanel brand is up to these days. And then there is the Coco Chanel Privé, all spelled together, dedicated to Chanel's life. Photos of her while she was alive and working. Very fascinating. I feel like she's coming back to life every time I post about her on that particular profile. And as for the, you know, I love my Chanel, but Vivienne Westwood is my living Coco. I love her so much. It's like one of the last living legends in fashion, you guys. So enjoy it while it lasts. Enjoy every new product that she brings out, every new campaign that she brings out, every new thing she has to say. Enjoy that. It's not going to last forever. And we are lucky to be living in the times when she is actually creating and designing. How amazing is that? How amazing is that? I think it's just amazing. And so even if there are some collections that turn out to be more reminiscing of the past, like this particular collection we reviewed today, which seems so much 90s, it's still great to see, you know, and I'm happy that she also still embraces that vibe, and that she also feels that vibe going for her. More power to her for that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Until next time, never forget to never give up on love. Love you all. See you soon. Take care. Bye.